Parents in the northern state of Katsina rejoiced as they saw their sons for the first time since they were taken. 344 boys were kidnapped from their school last Friday by armed men on motorbikes. Details of their rescue are still not clear, including who was responsible and whether a ransom was paid. Some of the boys say that they were beaten daily by their captors.
To be honest, there was no food or water for us, no shelter, no break. And the Friday we were taken, we spent 2 days without sleep. Our food was leaves, and after 2 days without food, we were given fresh potatoes and pieces of groundnut cake.
Frankly speaking, I feel like God has granted me paradise because I'm so happy. After spending 2 days without eating anything, my mother is more than 90 years old and I am her last born, and she too stopped eating and drinking. In addition, my 3 sisters were admitted to hospital.
More now from Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris, who's in the city of Katsina.
Walking barefoot, some of them limping, the 344 schoolboys are led by Nigerian security forces to the safe environment of the governor's office in Katsina after nearly a week in captivity. Instead of joy, it's fear and exhaustion written on their young faces.
You suffered physically, mentally, psychologically. But let me assure you that we have suffered more. Your parents have suffered more.
The government says all the students abducted in an armed raid on a boarding school in the town of Kankara last week have now been freed. But it's yet to explain the circumstances leading to their release.
A quick intervention prevented Nigeria's largest mass abduction from turning into another Chibok disaster. In 2014, security experts say Nigeria's authorities failed to act quickly when Boko Haram took more than 270 students from a girls' secondary school in Chibok. More than 100 of them are still unaccounted for.
For 6 days, the students were forced to trek and hike until Nigerian security forces pinned down their abductors in a forest in nearby Zamfara state. Earlier, hundreds more students either escaped on their own or were helped by the military, and many in a poor state of health. 14-year-old Osama Aminu managed to make his own way to freedom, but the punishing trek across forests and rocky hills has left him now fighting for his life. He's bedridden because of sickle cell anemia, made worse by this experience. His father is desperately worried about his health.
He said he was propped up and helped along by fellow students as they marched through a thick forest. When their group was rested for a few minutes, he saw a chance to escape. He crawled away and hid behind a tree. Later, he dragged himself to a village where he was brought home on a motorcycle.
Kankara Secondary School, from where the boys were taken, is now shut, just like schools in 3 other states in Nigeria's northwest. The authorities are taking no chances there could be further such raids. Nigeria's security forces are overstretched. They are fighting many battles, including against the armed group Boko Haram, who are against Western-style education. But eventually, the government will want the schools to reopen. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Katsina, Nigeria.